Hello everybody, it's Violet from Journal Art Papery. I've got a little thing I just wanted to show you. It's just to add some ephemera to my journals, my future journals. And now hubby's told me to keep it pretty short, so I'm going to try. And they're very simple. You've probably seen them before, but I just thought I would just show you a quick way of adding some pockets to your journals. So what I'm going to do is, in this tutorial, I'm just going to do the basics of how to make them, and in a following journal video I'm going to show you how to decorate them, and we're going to doody-dar them up a little bit with some ephemera. But I think to keep this video short, I really need to just keep it to a point where we're just going to make them and then decorate them another time. So what I've used is I've just used some plain card. I'm not sure about the thickness of it, but it comes in packs that you can just buy a pack of card, and I think it's like an A3, probably bigger than an A3, so 12 by 12 I think. Now some of the sheets you can actually buy, I'll put this one here, they've got a strip along the bottom of them. I'm going to cut the strip off and just use I think it's a 12 by 12 sheet, and that's all you need for this particular little thing that I'm doing. And you can use plain or you can use pattern, whatever you choose. This is a double-sided piece, so I'm not sure how this is going to come out, but I'm certainly going to try and get this on the main part of the piece. So I have to work out how to where to fold it, pretty much, to get it right side up. But even if it's not right side up, it doesn't really matter because it still looks really cool. Rightio, so these ones I've just used plain for this one and this one, and this one here was a large beautiful rose and floral sheet. And just to decorate it, all I've done is I've placed some molds from my modelling paste, and I've used the modelling paste because it's very flexible when it's dry. And I'll just show you again, I've shown you this before, but this is the one that I use, and I use it because it stays beautifully white. And if you want a white piece, then this is the best sort of stuff for the job. Some of them dry a little bit darker than white, but generally when people use the modelling paste, they would colour it up anyways. So for this, I've left it white because my first instinct was to do this one. And this is, you may have seen my Forget-Me-Not journal, and it's in blues mostly, and I thought, oh, this would be lovely to add to it. Not sure if I'll add it yet, but that's why I've made it sort of blue and white here. And I've used the IOD mould, which is the what are they? I can't think. Cameo mould. And I've just used another little very fine mould for this one here. This was a piece like this, and I've actually just bent it up. You can see the flexibility of this stuff. It's just wonderful. You can move it around once it's dry. So that's what I've used for that one. This one, all I've used is this particular moulding here. It's got the two swans on it, very cute. And this one, I've just used this one here, but you can see it's quite bendy, and that's what I love about it. Even once it's dry, it doesn't take too long to dry, but once it's dry, you can bend it around things. So if I put this on my Christmas decorations, for instance, that I have some lovely spheres I'm going to be decorating, I can just sort of bend it into shape. That's why I use that modelling paste, because it remains quite flexible. So with this, all I've done here to decorate it, because it's a plain piece of card, all I did was just to put a little watercolour rose in there and put the two mouldings on. And this is just some sari silk that I've just stuck to the end. And on the inside, it opens up, and we've got two pockets. We've got one here and one here. And it also opens up in the middle, that's going to be glued down just in there, and that'll make a pocket for a journal card in there. And these, again, just a couple of pockets. So I'm just going to run you through how to do that quickly. This little rose here is going to be another tutorial, so keep an eye out for that. I'm going to try and get that done soon, but I just wanted to go over how I made these so that you can yeah, follow along if you like. It's pretty simple, easy to do. I've done a few of them, and these are some with just normal card, double-sided card, just different designs. It's a little bit of a finer sort of card than this blue card here, but you can use whatever you like, because they'll come out pretty cool, like this one. It's got the gold on the inside, so they're just pockets. You can make it with fancy or plain. I've made them with some gold on there as well. Cute birds pattern. This is just from the same paper pack as this one, and I can't think what it's called, and I don't have it handy at the moment, but I just picked that up at Spotlight and I got it for a bargain, so I'm happy about that. But I thought I'll make a few of these pockets, and I'll make maybe one or two today just to show you through. With this one, all I did was just emboss this section here just to stand it out a little bit. It was a bit tricky to do actually, because I should have done it before I made the actual pockets. And I've just put another little piece of moulding along there. But these are all, they're going to be decorated. I'm not going to, as I said, I'm not going to do the decorating today. I'm just going to take you through making one of these. Now, you've probably seen this before. I've seen it before, but I just thought for those of you who maybe are new to making your own journal stuff, this might be useful for you to watch. Just trying to figure out ways to fill in the journals that I make, and the ones that I make I usually sell, so I want to put some really lovely cool pieces in, and this is just a way to do it. So I'm just taking that strip off, and I've got a couple here I want to do. So I'll just do two while I've got my cutter here. This is just an American Crafts cutter that I've had for yonks. I mean, if you want to leave it on, you can leave it on, that's fine. But I prefer to cut them off, and you can always use these extra strips in your journals anyway. So I'll just move that out of the way. Pick up my board so that I can get some measuring and creasing done. Now, I got this paper from Kaisercraft, and it's double-sided, and I want this to be the front, and I've just got to work out which way. I've got it facing up at the moment, but I don't think I want it facing up because I think I want the design coming upwards, so I don't know. I'll face it on its side and see how we go. So the first measurement I'm going to do on here is at 1.5, oops, getting camera there, 1.5 inches, then 6 inches, then 10.5 inches. So that's going to allow for the folds for the center and for the little pockets on the inside. So I'll just quickly score down here. One and a half, 6, 10.5. Sometimes I get a bit heavy-handed and I actually rip through my paper, and I didn't now, which is good. Now I'm just going at the 6 mark because this is going to give us the overall size of the pocket. And while I've got that in my face, I'm going to do the same here. So 1.5, 6, and then 10.5. It's going to give me 1.5 inch little pocket on the inside. and I think in inches, even though we shouldn't in Australia, we do centimetres. But because this little measuring doodad here is got inches on it, that's what I'm going by. It does actually have centimetres on there, I think, but just easier for me to look at the inch sections, so I'll move that out the way. Rightio. Now then, so it's a bit hard to see, but what I've done is I've scored along here. So I'm going to turn my sheet over, and you probably see it easier there. You'll see the scoring marks. Just fold that up there. So this is what it's going to look like on the inside. It doesn't look too bad with that. Probably not the ideal design for this, but it doesn't really matter. You can always cover it over with ephemera. So, and just basically, because I want this on, these are the inside, they're going to make the inside pockets. I'm going to fold it back over on itself for a minute so that the pockets are going to be on the inside. This gets a little bit tricky. I had to really think about just open it up again and then fold it over again to the centre. Now, so that the pockets actually fold down, what I've done here with this one is just cut a little V there so that they, when it's folded, it's not going to be too thick in the middle. So that's what I'm going to do now before I get going. And I think this is probably the easiest side to see with the pattern. I like the plain card that I've used because you can see where you're going with it. With this, sometimes it's a little bit tricky with the patterns, a little bit tricky to see where to cut properly. And it doesn't have to be measured or anything. It just keep the centre line and just make your V into the centre at the top. So those pockets are going to fold up like that. And when I think about how to cut it, I think we're going to have to cut down here to the centre. So we don't want to cut both sides, but I'm just trying to work out how it's going to fold over and which side I want the... Yeah, it doesn't matter. The roses are upside down, they're upside down. Let's go that way just to make sure. So I'm just going to cut down to the centre. Sorry if I'm going out of the picture a little bit there. You see all the leaves are turning autumn colours now, and that's really lovely. Right. Just got to work it out. It took me a while just to figure out which way to push this, just like that. Okay, so you'll have to do that too. So if you put it like this, and you've got your cut on your left hand side, you just fold it over like that. Fold that over like that and fold it down. I think that's how we'll do it. And I've got the roses coming up. Probably go the other way as well. Let me have a look and see if I can make it go the other way. So keeping the front in mind is this pattern. Let's try this way. Okay, that's not working. All right. Goes that way. So the cut part goes up the top. So if you've got it like that, you've folded it in half. Just fold it in half like that. And then because that's been cut, you can just fold it over like that. I hope you got that. And yeah, so you've got your pockets down the bottom, which is what you want. You don't want them up the top upside down. So this isn't too bad. This is the front. And so I do have flowers going up and coming down. It doesn't really matter. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue these bits down. what you could do if you wanted to before you glue it, you could just get your little corner doodad and go if you want it round. I don't prefer a round edge on mine. I'll just get the round edge here. I tried the round edge and I think it's really not me. I don't like things all neat and, you know, perfect looking. And you could, you know, put some shading on the pocket edge and all around the edge. You could, once you've got it glued, you could sew it all the way around. I don't know if I'll sew mine because I've decorated them differently. I might sew these ones because they're a little bit plainer, but I'm going to still put some ephemera and everything on the front of those. Look, they make wonderful gifts too, you know, for anybody. You could do it with Christmas sort of paper or card. You want really thick paper that comes in the bundles or the separate sheets that you can buy at places like Spotlight or Kaiser Craft. Or so you need it reasonably sturdy. It's not got to be paper. It's got to be a reasonable sturdiness. So before you actually glue everything down, if you want the rounded corners, I would do the rounded corners before you glue it. I'm going to leave mine without being rounded because I just, yeah, much prefer it not to be. So I'm just going to grab my trusty glue here, my messy glue, and take a bit of the stuff off it. And just, I'll start over the left-hand side because I'm right-handed, and I'll put just some glue down the edge here of the pockets. Try not to get all the stringy glue. You can use whatever glue you like. This is just the one I choose. Whatever sticks for you. And I've probably used far too much there. But what I do is I normally just do the one side first, just so that I can use my little pinkies and stick it down quickly. I didn't go around the edges, as you can see, because I'm just not into the let's make it look antique when we really all know it isn't. But I know that everybody's different and you have all different ideas about what you like and what you don't like. I just prefer it not to be fake unless it is needing something. You know, I'd probably prefer to whack a bit of gesso on it or something so that I could write in the corner. Or, but yeah, so anyway, sticking that down. Hopefully I've probably overdone the glue as I usually do. Now, while that's setting, I'm going to open that up and do the other edge. And a bit crooked with my cutting, as I usually do. I think the only problem with this type of glue is the stringy bits that come off when you're trying to glue. Just the little bits of glue, airy-fairy bits. All right, get off there, get off. Right, so just again, I'll just stick those down. Only takes a minute. I just want to make sure that the glue is not going to be sticking where I don't want it to stick. Okay, so that's your pocket. That's the top where the cut is. Just remember that wherever the cut is, that's the top. Okay, so that's basically it as far as the piece goes and how to make it. So when you open it up, you've just got the pocket there. You've got, wants to glue itself there because I've overdone the glue here. I'm going to stick the pocket down, and then I'm just going to put some sari silk along the edge like I've done on the others. You could put some material or whatever along the other edge, but that's the middle, and that's, you can put a journal pocket in there, another pocket there. I might just glue that one down while I'm here with the glue, and then I'll quickly make the other one just to make sure you got it and you're able to quickly go ahead and do it yourself. So, all right, they'll just line up. Well, we trust they will. With my cutting, who knows. So that's going to be a pocket there anyway. I'm not sticking this end of the pocket, and that's going to open there because I'm going to put, I don't know if I'll put the sari silk on this one, I might do, but you could just put a lovely piece of fabric over the edge, or you could put a piece of vintage paper. I'm going to come back and do that in the next video anyway, just so I don't hold you up. But we'll quickly do another one, just so that if you didn't get it, you can just have another look and see how we go. Move that one out of the way. And you know that I did the cuts. I just want to see if I can work out how to get this up the right way. It's going to go at the top. That's going to be the front. If I put the cut along here, that'll be the top, so that'll be the front. Okay, so I'm going to cut on the right this time, and I might just do that now before I forget. Just try and cut it along there. You can use your cutting mat if you've got your little cutting board. It's just easier for me to run the scissors down through here because I'm going to cut a V here in this side where I've got the flaps coming over to create the pockets. I mean, it doesn't even matter if they're the same size V's, because when the thing's closed, they're on different pages, if you like. So all you're going to see is the one on this side. These two are going to face each other, and the other two are going to face each other. So it doesn't matter if it's the same size. Okay, so let's do this. This is going to be the inside. Just bending them over. Bring the others down here. So get the whole length and just fold it towards itself. And then just bend it back over this way. Okay, and so the top is where the cut is, and I did it. I got them up the right way. How about that? Woohoo! Ooh la la. All right, so all I've got to do now is just glue down, and we're done. Then I'll come back in the next video, and we'll decorate them. So in the meantime, have a bit of a practice. And let me know what you think. Pretty easy, but just, you know, something that I wanted to do quickly. I tend to go to the extreme when I do these sort of things, and I create stuff like that, which is a little bit out of the box. It's not just paper, it's a decorative little piece of art. And so after I come back and do the video for just decorating these little pockets, I'm going to do, just don't want glue sticking out anywhere, I'm going to do the tutorial on the painting, which is going to be quite simple, and you'll think, why on earth haven't I ever given that a go before? Because it is easy. It's a matter of having some paintbrushes. So even, you know, the best quality that you can get, they're still not extreme prices. Some of them can be found in places like Spotlight and Kaiser Craft, and I think even Kmart might have paintbrushes, I'm not sure. But if you don't have paintbrushes, just get yourself a couple of little paintbrushes, not the cheapy ones that you can get in those really cheap shops, because they're going to be useless. You need at least a reasonable quality one, because it will last you then, and it won't just fluff over when you're trying to use the thing. It'll have some body to it. All right, so that's it. Little ephemera pocket. I'll glue this one down. I could glue along the edge here, but I'm going to decorate it anyway, so it's a shame all that beautiful pattern's got to go. But I was also thinking that you could make these using plain watercolour page, you know, like if you can get even the art books, you can get a big A3 size, just cut it down to whatever size you want, probably 12 by 12 or thereabouts, and then you could just put some watercolour over it like I did with my journal, my forget-me-not journal. I could put some watercolour over the page and let it dry, and then use that, and then you'll have a lovely surface where you can do lots of decoration on it, and the paper itself is a decorative piece because you've got some beautiful watercolour splodges. And so yeah, you don't have to use this type of paper. I just thought this is a very simple thing to use. So again, if you want to round corners, you can do it once it's glued, but it might gunk up your little cutting corner thing. But yeah, pretty simple, isn't it? So you've got little ephemera pockets there, and then you've got the one inside. So this could just make a lovely little gift. Depends on how much you decorate it up. You can put laces and antique papers, all kinds of things. You could even put some journal paper in here if you wanted to make a journal out of it. You could put it in there and in there, and you could have the water paper in the middle, pockets on either side of it. You can do all kinds of things with it. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I wasn't extremely long. It's only 27 minutes, which was probably long enough. But thank you for watching, and yeah, it'd be good to let me know what you think. Bye for now.